morning, it's Lori McClary, textilist. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to all the new subscribers I have. I have had a bump in my subscriber base recently, so that's really cool. So thank you to whoever shouted me out or however you found me, and to all my returning subscribers, welcome back. I'm really glad you're here. This is a channel about cross stitch and quilting and some junk journaling and whatever else tickles my fancy at the time. The last FlossTube I did, I asked if anybody would be interested in a WIP Parade, and the answer was a resounding yes. So we're going to try to get through a WIP Parade today. I'm not sure if I will be able to get it all done in one video. We'll see. I'm also going to talk a little bit about what I've been working on. I have some finishes. And then I've done a couple visits with some stitchy, scrappy friends, and I'll talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I wanted to talk about, there is a Instagram user that a lot of you are probably familiar with. Her name is Linda, and her Instagram is aka Van Mom. I'll put that down below here so you know who she is. And she lives close to me, so she reached out and contacted me, and we've gotten together 2 or 3 times since then. We went to a craft show. She came over here and we chatted. I've stopped by her house. We've exchanged a little bit of scrapping. We've kind of had a really fun time. So I wanted to show you what she brought me when she came to visit. It's a cute little envelope. There are a few things. This is the scrappy thing that she brought me, and it's a cute little envelope. And oops, it's stuck. There we go. Pull it out. That was adorable. The little mushroom sticker she brought me. So it was really fun to visit with her. Last Tuesday we went to a local quilt shop in the Bend area called So Many Quilts, and on Tuesday afternoons ladies come and they bring their handwork or whatever they're quilting or stitching on. There was one other cross stitcher there. There were several people quilting on wool. There was a hand quilter who was hand quilting her quilt. There's a lady who was piecing a quilt, and it was just a really fun group of ladies, and I'm hoping to get my FlossTube done in time today to go meet up with them again as well. Also, I met up via Facebook rooms or groups, or no, what is it? I'm not sure. Whatever the Facebook equivalent of FaceTime is. I met up with Audrey Stitchy Witch 42 and Lisa Prince Greenway, and we did a little scrap up. And Audrey showed us how to make a little junk journal out of envelopes with the windows on them. So this is a used envelope. I got a bill in this, of course, and they got 4 pages. They did 4. I only got 1 done, but basically here's mine, and it opens up. I had saved this from an order that I got from Owl Force. I just thought it was really cool, and I like owls. And then I made some tags. Oh, actually, I think this was part of what Linda brought me. So here's what Linda did. And then I have a little tag here. This is a tag that I made. That's an Alphonse Muka. And then this is the back. And so that was really fun. I'm looking forward to making more of those. And I need to finish this one and put a few more pages in it, but it's almost done. But I really liked how that turned out. I've been doing a lot of stitching lately, And I think last time we talked, I was still working on both of these pieces, and I finished them. The first one that I finished was, oh, hold on, I need to grab the pattern. Sorry about that. I thought I was better prepared. So this is Stacy Nash Rose Cottage sampler pen keep, and I made it in a 30 count instead of a 36 count, and it's on Weeks Dye Works Confederate Gray, and I used the called for DMC, and here it is, and it's complete. I'm really glad, I'm really happy how this turned out. I went and looked at frames, and I think I found a frame that I like, but I decided once when I got there that I really want to finish the companion one, the one that she put out this fall. This one has 5 generations of women in my family and the initials, and I'm going to do the fall one for my son and his uncles and his dad and grandfather, and I want to frame them at the same time. So I'm not going to frame this quite yet. So that was completed. The second thing I finished was Blackbird Designs Feast of Friendship. I think I might have finished it last time. I don't remember. I'll just show it again. I did find a frame for this, and I just got a call that it's ready for me to go pick up, and then I will hand frame this, and I will post a picture of it on Instagram and show you. But this as well, I'm very pleased at how it turned out. I am happy that I completed it in the time frame I gave myself, which was I wanted to have this hanging before Thanksgiving Day, which it should be. I also have worked on some smalls for Thanksgiving, and this is the first one. This is an exclusive by Brenda Gervais. I'm not positive. It could have been a small that was included with Coming to America, or it's just made from the pieces of Coming to America. I'm not sure, but I know that it's not available yet. It was available for us at the Midwest / Farm Girl Gatherings retreat in last month, and so I picked it up. It's called Harvest Blessings. Actually, that's what it says, is Harvest Blessings. It's actually called Celebrate the Harvest, and I stitched this on some mystery linen. I don't recall what it is. It's a higher count because I used 2/2, and I used the called for colors, but I kind of, oops, it's getting a little blown out there. There we go. I did kind of give it a little tea daubing, meaning I took a tea bag and I wet it and I kind of daubed it all over. I needed to grunge it up a little bit to kind of match my decor, but this is finished. I'm very happy at how it turned out. It's really cute. And I haven't finished it yet, but I suspect that I'm going to use this that I picked up. I'm not going to cover it up. Basically what I'll do is some sort of flat fold, and I will fit that in there and then pop it out when I'm not using it. So that is Celebrate the Harvest by Brenda Gervais. And then I was playing around a little bit on PC Stitch, whatever version it is, and I was looking at the fonts, and I just printed out a little chart for me and stitched up a Thanksgiving for a pillow. This will be finished into a pillow. This also got the tea bag treatment as well. And then the last one that I did, this is a freebie from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. I'll put the information down below. You can go on her website. And this is on the same mystery linen. I used the same linen for all 3 of them. And this one also got the tea bag dabbing, but this is stitched in the called for. So super cute. I like how all of these turned out. I think they're going to be really cute for my Thanksgiving display. So I finished those. And then as I was pulling everything out for framing, I kind of looked at my list, and I thought I would share with you all of the little stitches I've done throughout the year. Some of them I started a long time ago but just completed this year, but they're things that need to be framed and or finished for the Christmas season, which is really close. I'm trying not to decorate, or I haven't decorated for the Christmas season. I'm not watching any of my favorite movies or anything because I want to give every holiday its just due. And I like the anticipation, but I did pull these out because I do want them ready for the holiday. I may or may not have a information for you about what the stitch is. But if I don't, if you're really interested, put a comment down below and I'll answer it. This one I do know. This one is a freebie, and it's on Beth Twist's site, her blog, her family blog. It was a freebie several years ago, and I believe it's called Christmas. I believe this is what it's called. But basically, it's the little saying he says, cornmeal and gunpowder, ham hocks and guitar strings, and this is going to be made into a drum. So I really like this. This is stitched on a 28 count Lugana that I coffee tea dyed. This one is called Winter's Peace. I don't have the information in front of me about the designer, but I will put it in down below here. And I stitched this earlier this year, and I also don't have the information. This looks to be this is over 2, so it's at least a 32 count, a 28 or a 32 count, something that I'm sure I hand dyed. Let me back up here. That kind of gives it a better picture of color, and then that's what it looks like. So that'll most likely be a pillow of some sort. This is Horse Country Holiday or something like that. I finished that earlier this year, and I'll be finishing that also before the season. Winter, I know this was a kit that I got from someone at a retreat that was on the free table. And the entire kit was on the free table, and I love it. And I will be finishing that earlier. And I'll try to put the information down below. This one is a Little House Needleworks. I'll put the information down below, including what I stitched it on. I did change the colors up on this, and I am going to be stitching a companion piece to this. I will probably frame this. This is fairly large, and but I may not frame it this year. I may frame it later in the winter. This is more of a winter than an actual Christmas. It was one of the very first things that I stitched. It took me quite a while to finish it. I stitched it on a piece of coffee tea dyed Monaco 28 count. Information down below. Baby, it's cold outside. And so this was early on in my stitching career. I've only been stitching, excuse me, gotta reach for something. I've only been stitching about 3 years. At the same time, I stitched this, which is a Stacy Nash. And I will put the chart information down below. This is just thrown in a frame. You can see it's crooked. I haven't even straightened it out, but I will be framing this in something similar. And so those are my holiday finishes that will be finished or will be coming out soon. Oh, and I did have these. These are not cross stitch. These are embroidery. And I will also put the information down below or on the screen of what these are. These are meant to be little pillows, but I think I'm going to do flat fold, and they're not ironed, I'm sorry. So let it snow. So basically they go together. One is embroidery only, one is applique and embroidery, and they will match. Looking forward to getting those finished and decorating with them along with my other holiday finishes. Before I forget, I did want to give a little update on the Prairie Schooler Santa journals that I talked about in my last video. Here is one of my prototypes. They come in this color and they come in red, and I got an amazing response of people who are interested in them. Unfortunately, the materials that I use to make these is not readily available. I ordered a large supply right after I did the video, and I should be getting a partial shipment today. So what I will be doing, if you were interested in these, if you were interested in this one or the red one, I also had mentioned that I was going to do a larger one because of the limited supply of this material. I will not be doing a larger one right now. Hopefully once the supply chain eases up, I will be doing it. But for right now, if you're interested, it's just a little book, and it's filled with a, again, this is my prototype, so I've kind of used it. They're filled with a mini composition book, so it doesn't have anything in there, but there is room for you to write information about all of your prairie schoolers. Go ahead, if you would look on my Instagram page, and I will put that down below, and you go back several pictures, you will find a picture of this one and the red one. And if you are interested in it, please put your name on there. And then what I'm going to do is, once I get the supply in, I'm going to make them up, and I'm going to go from first in, first out. Hopefully I'll be able to make one for all of you. Some people wanted one of each color, and that's fine. I definitely have enough of this color. It's the red that's a little bit harder to get. But go ahead and put your name in there, and hopefully I will be able to get enough for one for everyone. And then we'll get those. And then later on, like I said, hopefully when the supply chain eases up a little bit, I will be able to post the larger ones. But for now, it's just going to be the little ones. So sorry about that. And thanks for the great response. So in addition to the two big pieces that I finished since we last talked, the Feast of Friendship and the Rose Cottage Manor, and then the little Thanksgiving Smalls, I've also worked on a couple other things. I finished Prairie Schooler Santa right before my last video, and I've started another one, and this one is 1989. So I think this is my 5th or 6th Santa, and so that's coming along, I'm pretty sure. I think I'm going to take it with me today to the stitch meetup because they're easy to work on. And then the other thing that I've been putting a significant amount of time on is Kathy Barrick, Heaven and Nature Sing. And when I picked this back up, I started this a long time ago, and I had the hind leg and the berry basket done, and I finished outlining some of the stag, and I have been filling him in, and I did his little collar of evergreens and holly, and this stag is no joke. So because I started this early in my stitching career, this is on, oh gosh, where's my thread? Hold on, let me grab my thread. Okay, I keep my information on my thread drop about what the fabric is. So this is a 32 count vintage maple sugar, which is Lakeside Linen. This is my floss drop here, and this is what I have done. And it that deer takes a while. Those rows, I think each row takes up an entire length of thread. I'm afraid I'm going to be running out of Caterpillar. I'm going to have to order some, but here are the flosses. They're very beautiful. I love these colors. Let me put this back up here so you can see them. And then I have this pretty little thread drop. And then I keep that in one of my very favorite project bags that I made. So that's for Heaven and Nature Sings. So I'm going to clean up what I have already shown you, and we're going to dive right into the WIP Parade. Okay, I had to make a quick dash down the driveway to take the trash out before the garbage truck came, and my driveway is definitely a dash. It's quite lengthy, and it's about 36 degrees outside. It's cold, so I'm a little breathless and chilled. So just fair warning, the first batch are going to be what are in project bags, not hanging up. And we're just gonna go. It's no particular order. I sort of tried to separate things out into seasons, and that it didn't work. So we're just gonna look at things as they come. So the very first one is called Buckleberry Welcome. And this is a Rosewood Manor. There's the stitch. And this is on a piece of Birds of a Feather 32 count called Too Many Treats. And this is a piece of linen that my friend Lisa Kendra Stitcher gifted me. And that is my little welcome, or my little start on the welcome. I do have the border finish, but I haven't got much further. It's actually not that much. Many of these things, when I first started them, they looked daunting because I was new and I didn't really know how long things would take. And I'm definitely a fan of the squirrels. So some of these things, now that I look back at them with a different, more seasoned eye, I'm going to pick some up and get them finished because I know they won't take long. That won't take very long. But I planned on having this one next to my door. And I just love this color. I love the color of this linen. So that's Buckleberry Welcome. And then I have in the same bag, and I don't have the linen for it yet, but I also plan on doing the Buckleberry sampler, which is beautiful. I love Rosewood Manor. I think Karen does beautiful, beautiful work. The next one here is Heart and Hand, and it is a with thy needle and thread. And this is the chart, Brenda Gervais. And this is being done on the called for, I believe, which is 35 count Dove. This is my start. There, it's a better color. This is my start. And I believe that I started pulling flosses, my own conversion of whatever I had on hand as I went. So this is not all of the flosses, but here you can kind of get an idea of the flosses. Another Brenda Gervais. You'll start to see a theme here. And it is called Summer at Cherry Hill. And this is being done on a, where's the count? It's a 40 count. 40 count Vintage Buttercream by Lakeside Linen. And here is my start. There's a better picture of it. These are the flosses. Again, gorgeous, gorgeous flosses. And these are kept in one of my project bags, and I have a little smaller one that I keep the threads in. This is called B is for Bunny, and it is a la-di-da. And I love that bunny. I love the odd kind of ochre, goldy yellow color. And I had chosen a really kind of odd colored piece of linen for it, and the linen is a color and cotton hand dyed, and it's called Dried Sage, and it's kind of a bluish green with a lot of brown. I'm not sure about this color. I kind of like the funky color combination, and then sometimes I don't. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on that linen or not. Here are the flosses. I think they go well together, and maybe I just need to stitch more and see more of the bunny. I know that the flowers are going to look fantastic on that linen. I'm just not so sure about that bunny. So if you have an opinion, share your opinion. Tell me what you think. Should I keep going on this one? Or should I give it a rest and choose a different linen for that particular chart? This is called Spring Delivery. It's another Brenda Gervais. Let me hold it. There we go. Spring Delivery. And this is being done on a R&R Prim Green. It's a 40 count. And this is my start. This is such a sweet little stitch. Next, this was the very first stitch I picked up right after I started stitching again after treatment. I didn't stitch it all during treatment. I really didn't, I wasn't feeling it. This is Jane Penderleaf, and that is by, let's see, this is the Needlework pressed. So this is Jane Penderleaf. I love the colors on this. It's so pretty. I am assuming this is a 36 or 40 count, and I believe this is a straw, and these are the called for colors. And this is my start on Jane Penderleaf. Is that better? That's kind of closer to the colors. This is one that I could not wait to kit up and start. It's the Scarlet House, and it is Sarah Jackson. And I'm doing here, there we go. I'm doing this in the called for colors and linen, which is, I have to look here. This is being done on a 36 count dolphin, and all of this and Classic Colorworks. I don't recall if this was, I don't remember if I kitted this up or if I asked, I don't remember if I kitted this up or Country Sampler kitted this up, but basically, here's my start. I love the colors. I love the colors on the dolphin. It's just gorgeous. I think the only reason I didn't continue stitching on this is that something just as beautiful and shiny came along, and I had to start it too. So this is Little House Needleworks, and it is called the Needleworker Sampler. Let me put it here. So that's what it looks like. Oops, upside down. Sorry about that. Needleworker. This is a 32 count linen that it's natural, but I think I overdyed it with coffee and tea. It is kitted up in the called for colors for the floss. There we go. And that's my start. Not a big one, but I really love this, and I have this in another one of my favorite project bags that I made with this really cute little project bag fob. I'll probably pause here in a minute so that I can unload a stack before it falls over. The next one is a Scattered Seed Samplers, Tammy Black, and the name of the chart is Catherine Dickinson 1840. So there's the chart. I am doing this on a 32 count vintage autumn gold. And let me get my flosses out here. I have it in my floss bag. Here's the project bag. I think I remembered IT coffee dyed the fabric to go in this because I didn't have any fabric that matched this fabric that I wanted to put it in. So it's fun. It's fun to make matchy things. I like that. Vintage autumn gold is one of my very favorite linens to stitch on. And I'll hold it back here because I know it's going to get blown out if I get any closer. So here are the flosses. And there is my start. Doesn't that red and the gold, all of it, the flosses just show up beautifully on this linen. And it's going to be so pretty when it's done. Here, don't they show it beautifully? The next one is one that Lisa Kendra Stitcher and I started together, but she has completed. I am not very far at all, and that is Hoity Toity. And again, I started this when I was a very new stitcher, and I'm doing it, or I started stitching it on a higher or lower count, higher count, however you want to look at it. Lower thread count, higher, bigger stitches. I started this on I think this is a 32 count tin roof, and that is as far as I've got. And I was really struggling with this because it's the old weeks, and these are very angular patterns, and it just wasn't showing up. So I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to abandon this one and start it on a higher count linen. I may do that. I will probably stick with the tin roof. I really like the tin roof behind it. And it's done in the called for DMCs. Here's all of the DMCs. and these are beautiful. But I may restart that. I just haven't decided yet. And this is the project bag that I made for it. It's made out of a piece of upholstery fabric. I really liked it, and because it was such a pretty piece, I had to put some pretty bling on it. So that's the project bag it's in. The next one, I love this this sampler. This is a Carriage House Samplings. I love this type of art. I think it goes really well in my arts and crafts home. And this is called the Kingsford Sampler. And I am doing it on a 40 count. Is this a 40 count? No, actually it is a 32 count. I'm doing this on a 32 count Lugano Murano even weave that is called Old Linen by XG Designs. And here is the linen, and there is my start. And I'm doing it in the DMCs. Again, I think they look gorgeous on this linen. So that again is Mary Elizabeth Kingsford, 1764 by Carriage House Samplings. Oh, and here's the project bag that it's in. Okay, small pause. You won't notice it at all, and I will be right back. Okay, the next one is a very tiny start, and I think I started it at a retreat, which is why it's a very tiny start. And it's Blackbird Designs, Winter is Past. And I'm doing this on, I think I'm doing this on the Called For, which is a 36 count Oaken. And there's my start. And there are the flosses. So very tiny start. And I keep it in this project bag, which is a William Morris. The red is William Morris. The other, I'm not sure what the other fabric is. The next one is Away We Ride. I did a little bit of stitching on this recently. Here's the chart. This is my working copy, Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. This is being stitched on a 30 count Weeks Confederate Gray. And here are the flosses. And there is my start. And what I did was I had to unstitch all of this and restitch it in the right color. Actually, the color was right. I was off by one stitch. So that I made some headway on that. It's very interesting. I don't know if I read the chart wrong. Nope, didn't read the chart wrong. Mine has mulberry in the border. When I see other people's chart, it looks like their border is entirely in two colors, which is more of this gray color. So if you've stitched this, would you look at your chart? I just double checked mine, and mine shows very clearly that it has mulberry in the border. So let me know. Let me know what yours has in there. It always looks dark to me when I see pictures of it. So I'm interested to know if yours, and this is appropriately in a crow and raven bag. Oh, and here's my floss bag. Get my floss put in here. And the next ones are also Blackbird Designs, and these are starts from the retreat we went to in Dying to Stitch 2019, I believe. So they're not very big. These were not out yet, so my copies look a little bit different, I think, than others. So the first one is We Live in Hope, Blackbird Designs, and that here is my very little itty bitty start from the retreat. little bit. My very small start. We really didn't have a lot of time. Well, we did have time after the retreat to stitch, but the retreat's a little bit more of a lecture and gathering than is stitching. And then we stitched at the hotel, which was different. It's at a country club. We stitched at a hotel. So here are the threads for that one. And then also started on Home from the Sea, which I will put here, Home from the Sea, which was the small that we received. And I did start that one as well. I got a little bit further on that one. And get the card out here. So these are, let's do it this way. These are the flosses, and that is my start. Very beautiful. Love the colors. Huge Blackbird Design fans. They are what brought me to cross stitch, because they're also beautiful quilt designers. So that's from the retreat. I'm not going to show all the little starts from all my retreats. I had 5 retreats this year. And I did show them in a recent video. So if you wanted to see those, you can go back and view those videos starting from May through October. Look at my past retreats and you'll see those starts. So that Blackbird Designs, and let's see, what's the next one? The next one is in a bag made out of my very favorite designer, fabric designer, which is Kansas Trebles. Here's the project bag. And the floss bag. This one, I'm not sure if I'm going to, yeah, I am going to finish it, but I'm probably going to alter it. I think this was a Priscilla and Chelsea stitch along. And like, I'm definitely more of the start along than the stitch along. I like to start, I like to kit up, I like to get it all put together, and then I get distracted. But here is my itty bitty start. Oh, I'm sorry. Little House Needleworks Pumpkin Hollow Farm is the stitch. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch everything here up. I'm not going to stitch the bottom, and it'll probably be a small. But I do love it. I think it's cute. There's the colors, and here's my start. And I'm pretty sure I'm doing on whatever was called for, because at the time I was a new stitcher, and that's what you did, which is a 32 count light mocha linen, using the call for, which is a combination of Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and General Arts. So that will go away, get put away until next, probably late summer, when I will start stitching on fall, Halloween and fall things again. I think it will look cute with the, next to all of the other fall stuff that I have. This one, this next stitch is a Murderous Pros, and all I have is my working copy, so I can't show you. If I can find it online, I'll put a picture up here, but I may not do that. But I do have one finished, so here is the finished one. I love, love, love it. I love those colors. These are, there's 3. That's one of the 3. These are being done with Weeks Dye Works, and I think in a couple of Valdanis. And they're all being done on 32 count vintage sand dune. So I've got my pieces cut for the other 2, but I love this. Here is the colors. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Whoops. And here, again, I have another Raven bag. And I believe these are Joe Morton fabrics. So that's the fabric bag that's in. Yeah, these are Weeks, and no, it's just Weeks and DMC. not Valdani. So those will also get put away until late next summer when I start stitching on fall things. The next one is another Brenda Gervais, and it's the August Wordplay. And I have a very small start on it, so almost not worthy of being called a WIP. Let me fold this in half here. I keep my working copies in those little plastic sheets. Keeps them nice. So that one, here's my tiny start. Let me get the floss here. And I love these rusty fall, summer going into fall colors. So looking forward to finishing that and freeing up all of that Gentle Arts. That's a lot of Gentle Arts, and this is a very tiny stitch. And this is being stitched on, do I have it on here? I know it's not Abecedarian. I'm not sure what this is, to tell you the truth. I think this is a piece left over from something else. So, mystery linen. It's in my bag where, oh, I don't know the designer of this fabric, but I do love it. Isn't that green gorgeous? Well, I didn't have any green to match that green for the inside. So again, I picked out a green from my stash and I coffee tea dyed it. And I think that it turned out pretty darn cool. And there's my floss bag. The last one, this is one I really should finish. It's a time-consuming stitch, which is the only reason it's not finished, but I love it. It's Plum Straight Autumn Fractor. And I'm stitching it in the Called for Colors on a different count. I think, again, this is one that I started early on, so I'm pretty sure it's a 32 count. I don't have a tag that tells me. I'd have to go back. Oh, not quite halfway. I'd say I'm a third of the way done, but it is gorgeous. It is just gorgeous. I love this stitch. It's very pretty. I have a place already planned in my living room to hang it. And again, Plum Street Autumn Fractor. And I love fractors. So this fits right in. This is in a, probably my very favorite of all project bag that I've made. This is in my owl bag. And it has its own floss bag too. So I love that bag. I think I have just enough fabric to make one more of these project bags, which I'm looking forward to. I don't know if I showed it close enough, but it has some really interesting, there we go. The background is pretty cool looking too. I also used some of this fabric to make a Mondo bag for Audrey Stitchy Witch 42. I don't recall which video she showed it on, but if you look on my Instagram or on her Instagram, you can see the bag that I made with the owl fabric. It turned out wonderful. So that's what's in my bags. I have many stacks of things that are on hangers, and that's what we're going to look at next. So I'm going to do a pause real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, everyone, here's the deal. I just looked at my time of all of my little clips, and it's definitely over an hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to these 3 stacks, and I'm either going to film later tonight because I want to go out and eat with my stitchy friends, or I will film tomorrow. Plus, I have a stack of things that I want to show that are my plans coming up for the holiday season. So thanks for hanging out with me. This is WIP Parade Part 1. I haven't counted. If you've counted, go ahead and throw a comment down below of how many you think I've done so far. And then, like I said, I have several things that I want to share with you that are definites or potentials or possibilities that I'm going to work on for the holiday season now that I'm through stitching for Thanksgiving. So again, thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you very, very soon so we can finish up that WIP parade. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.